Okay, number 16 on the review. A cue ball with a mass of 16 kilograms, rolling at 4 meters per second. 0.16, thank you. 4 meters per second. So I have the mass, I have the velocity, hits a stationary ball. So stationary means that the velocity is 0. Also of similar mass. If the cue ball travels 45 degrees above its original path and the 8 ball travels 45 degrees below the horizontal, what is the velocity of each ball after collision? So I want to find VA prime and VB prime. So this problem, they go off at angles. But because they have the same mass, and this is going to be a 45, 45, 90 triangle, this problem's actually simple math-wise. All right, so the first thing I want to do is I need to draw my what's happening picture. Okay, so I have ball A, and ball A is moving along with the velocity, so I'm going to use an arrow to represent the momentum of ball A before collision. Then that hits ball B, which is stationary. Now, I'm not drawing an arrow to represent ball B because ball B doesn't have a velocity. It's standing still, so the momentum is 0. What I'm going to do is I need to have a frame of reference because we're talking about vector quantities, and vectors have to have both magnitude and direction. So my frame of reference is going to be the original direction of ball A. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to draw a dashed line, and that's going to be my frame of reference. That's the original direction of ball A. So it says after the collision, ball A moves off in a direction 45 degrees to the left of its original direction. So ball A is going to move off like this. So this vector represents PA prime. And this is 45 degrees. Then after the collision, ball B moves 45 degrees below the horizontal. So here's ball B. This is 45 degrees, and this is PB prime. This is the total momentum before. This is the total momentum after. The total momentum before is equal to the total momentum after. So PA is equal to PA prime plus PB prime. But because they're vectors, I cannot add them algebraically. I have to add them vectorially. So the total momentum before is equal to the total after. So the total before is PA, which I'm going to draw here. This is where I start. This is where I end up. So these two vectors here, added head to tail, have to add up to this. Now I could calculate the magnitude of PA. It's just MAVA. So this is 0.16 times 4. So the total momentum before ends up being 0.64 kilogram meters per second. So now, this is where I started. This is PA prime. From the head of this vector, I do the tail of the other. This is why we spend so much time in the beginning of the year understanding vectors and adding them head to tail. This is PB prime. This is 90 degrees, and this is 45, 40. So now I have a 45, 45, 90 triangle. It's an isosceles triangle. I know the magnitude of the hypotenuse of this triangle. So if I have a 45, 45, 90 triangle, and I know the hypotenuse, can I find the other two sides? Of course I can. So the big question was, do I use sine? Do I use cosine? Do I use tangent? It doesn't matter. I know that sine of theta is equal to opposite over hypotenuse. So sine of 45 is equal to opposite. So let's do this one, PA prime over the hypotenuse, PA. So PA times sine of 45 is equal to PA prime. So that comes out to be 0.64 times 0.707. So PA prime is equal to 0.45. Now, if I want to find PB prime, I would do the same thing for PB. I could use sine, I can use cosine. Should I bother to do it on this one? The 45, 45, 90 triangle. I can just write PB prime is equal to PA prime, so it's equal to 0.45. Now, the definition of momentum says P is equal to mv. So PA prime is equal to m times VA prime. I'll rearrange the equation to solve for VA prime. So PA prime over MA is equal to VA prime. So PA prime is 0.45 divided by the mass. So the velocity comes out to be 2.8. And the other velocity is going to be the same thing because the masses are equal. Okay? And again, when I showed you how to do these problems for homework, I would do it like a table. I would do ball A, I would do ball B, and say do this on one side and this on the other, and then you won't get mixed up.